Hey everybody, in this episode we are looking at snake skins. First, let's look at what is a snake skin. A snake skin is just basically a long sleeve or a stuff sack that you store your tarp in, but much more. There's three applications that makes a snake skin so great. And the first one is when you're deploying or setting up a tarp in windy conditions, sometimes it could be impossible. But with the tarp tucked away in the snake skin, it makes setting up and taking down a breeze. Now the second application is when I'm hiking all day and I come to camp and I go to set up my hammock and I realize it's about to rain. So instead of setting up my hammock with all its quilt, I'll first set up the tarp. You first set up the tarp and leave it in the snakeskin where it's out of the way. Then you set up the hammock and all the quilts. If it starts raining as you're setting up the rest of the gear, oh no! Within seconds, you can deploy the tarp to protect your gear from getting wet. Now the third and the last application is my favorite. I believe you should never have a tarp above you while lying in your hammock. There's nothing like falling asleep, looking at the stars, and then waking up throughout the night seeing different constellations. I know waking up during the nighttime can be a pain, but being tarpless on a clear night is a delight. And also waking up in the morning without that tarp surrounding you, having a full view of the forest and all of its wonders. It is like waking up in heaven. But where I live, you never know when it's gonna rain, even for the weathermen. So I gave up being tarpless. I would always have the tarp above me when I went to sleep, until the snakeskin came slithering along. Now when the weatherman says it's gonna be a clear night and it's not gonna rain, I will still first set up the tarp. I'll be prepared and have my tarp and hammock with the gear underneath all set up. Then I will unhook the guide lines that are attached to my stakes from the tarp. Then I'll put the tarp back into the snakeskin. And get into my hammock to watch those stars. After falling asleep, all of a sudden I wake up and it's starting to rain. Then I'll jump out of the hammock and deploy the tarp in a matter of seconds. Once the tarp is over the hammock, now at this point everything is going to be dry. Now I will quickly reattach the guide lines to the tarp. After the tarp is pitched, now it's time to get back into the hammock to listen to the pitter-patter of the rain as you fall back asleep. Now there's 3 different types of material that the snakeskins are made out of: Cuban fiber, nylon, and also mesh. When you're ready to pick up a snakeskin, I highly recommend that you get one made out of mesh. And the reason why is Dyneema and nylon is great for holding water out, but unfortunately they're great for holding water in. Let me explain. When you store your tarp in a snakeskin made out of Dyneema or nylon that is wet, when you go to dry or air it out, either at the next camp or at home, because having the wet tarp stored inside, now the inside of the snakeskin is wet. And the only way to completely dry it out is to turn it inside out. And when it's dry, then you have to turn it back again. Which can be a pain, but you never have to worry about that with mesh. It dries outside as well as inside. I see you. And last, they either come in a 1-piece or a 2-piece. I find with the 2-piece, the tarp fits a little bit better in there. But the 1-piece is faster to deploy. Otherwise, it's just personal preference. Either one will serve you well. Now I know someone's going to ask, which one do you like, the 1-piece or the 2-piece? I suppose I like the 1-piece better because it's faster to deploy. Maybe because I'm lazy, but well, this ends this episode. I hope you found it to be helpful and insightful. If you have any questions or comments, please write them down below. I'd love to hear from you. This is The Marine. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it.